We've just been linked with Darwin Nunez, people. Darwin Nunez is a link and is a player that people are talking about. Apologies, I'm just checking all my settings while I make my way through this intro. Darwin Nunez is a player that people are talking about as a potential signing for Arsenal between now and the deadline at 11 p.m. on Friday. I don't love it. I also don't want to let it drive my mood too much throughout this stream because we've done a lot of good business I'm happy with. Eddie Nketiah for 30 million to Crystal Palace, fantastic. Fabio Vieira on loan with terms that I think are really encouraging. And of course, Mikel Merino was announced today. And the general mood and feeling across reporters, ITKs, wherever it might be, is that Arsenal are going to move for a forward, and that is all fantastic. But I know what you're all here for. And it's not, I set up this stream about 5 hours ago, maybe longer ago. I thought, okay, we got to touch on all the announcements, but just wait till late in the day. Leave it to one of those late, not quite midnight, 11 p.m. here UK time, but leave it to one of the later ones because you never know kind of what's going to come out throughout the day, which is just sort of typical when you're into those final days of the transfer window. And that's exactly what we're getting now. We're getting some later rumors and bits and bobs coming through. So we'll talk about it all. Nunez, Merino, Nketiah, Vieira, Kivior as well, and anything else that needs discussing across the next, well, we're nearly 2 minutes in, so the next 28 minutes. We'll get to half an hour, people. Leave a comment if you'd like to contribute to the conversation. It would be great to get your thoughts, help me make sense of everything that's happening. And yeah, like I said, just help me make sense of this all, because normally these are sort of semi-pre-prepared, and even though I'm live, it's sort of semi-pre-prepared piece of content, because I know I want to talk about and I formed an opinion, but this Nunez stuff is very much in the last hour. Now, let me actually just pour some cold water on it. Well, I mean, not actually, because then I've got to clean up. But let me pour some cold water on this rumor slightly just for a second. It's an ITK-led rumor. It's not been picked up anywhere else. There was kind of murmurings and discussion about it kind of on Twitter. Would you, if he became available? But that's as far as it really is. So let me show you where this all comes from, because that's probably just the best way to do it. Apologies. 1 second. Right, here we go. So AFC Camden, who for years I called AFC Camden. So well done, James, for adding an extra C in there. Or is AF Camden? Let me know in the comment section. He said that Arsenal are interested in signing Darwin Nunez before Friday's transfer deadline. Player keen to move to London and work under Mikel to win trophies. That's going to boil Liverpool fans' blood. And rival fans will have a laugh. Liverpool willing to sell. That probably won't boil Liverpool fans' blood. I think they probably expect that. Improbable, but not impossible. I said on a video that came out yesterday when I was talking about why it's a huge week for Arsenal. AFC Camden's talked about Anthony Gordon being a target. Now, I will say, if you want me to talk about how, what's the word? Reliable, I guess is probably just the best word. How reliable, accurate AFC Camden is, I don't know. I haven't followed his long list of transfer updates. If there is a long list, I don't know particularly. So I might be wrong. Let me know in the comment section below if you think so. A lot of people are treating this as kind of good intel. And yeah, he's not going big here. He or she is not going big here saying Arsenal are 100% signing Darwin Nunez. That's their first target. They're just saying, Arsenal are interested. Arsenal are interested, and there has been perhaps some interest expressed. That's as far as I can go on the rumor front in terms of how much kind of how much weight can I really give it? How likely is it? I don't know, but I think I think what's likely is that Arsenal, if I had to guess what I think's happened, I think Arsenal might well have asked Liverpool about his availability and might have sounded out Darwin Nunez and his agents to understand whether they would be willing to make the move. That all sounds very plausible. Arsenal have, well, it's the end of Tuesday, so they have only Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to lock down the target they want if they don't get Nico Williams, that is reportedly their first choice target. So they've got to draw up the list of options, and they'll be asking here than everywhere to find out about the availability, and they're looking to understand where they fit, where those players fit into their plans, into their budget, into the tactical setup and all these things, and they'll be coming up with a conclusion as to who the best player to go for is. That's why you saw over the weekend from actual journalists, like, I'm not trying to be condescending to the ITKs when I say that. I'm just, people like Sami Mokbel have come out and said things like, Raheem Sterling, who wasn't being considered on the weekend, might well be now going into this final week. So the position can change and you can get a little bit desperate. And I think we like to do two things as fans. There's the fans that say Arsenal are totally in control and they know what they're doing and they've got their list of backups and they'll have been going for a player, and next thing they'll, go move on to the next target and they'll be absolutely fine. And then there's the other set of fans that will be panicking, going, Arsenal have a clue what they're doing, is completely and utterly desperate. And if they sign someone, it will just be because they've just found whatever they can do in the moment to appease the fans. And I think the reality is a club is somewhere in the middle, which is, no, not everything goes to plan, and not everything has a proper plan B, and not everything is completely, well, we have planned for this, and if this doesn't happen, we'll move on to that, and then we'll see where we are with that. There will be a little bit of Arsenal scrambling. I do think that behind the scenes, I don't quite know how it works, but we have seen footage from documentaries. I know Sunderland Till I Die is, quite something, but look at Deadline Day with on the Arsenal or Nothing documentary. They didn't know where Aubameyang was. There was phone calls back and forth with Barcelona. I don't know. I mean, there's a very good chance that Arsenal are somewhat scrambling a little bit in the background, and that's why Nunez might well have been approached in some way. On the player, because I'm spending a lot of time on Nunez, apologies guys, but on the player, I'm not going to lie to you, and you might all call me super negative, and you might say, James, come on, if we sign him, we've got to believe in him a bit more. But a lot of people are excited about this. I'm not one of them. I don't think he is anywhere near what we need. The thing I give him is he's got a lot of attributes. He is quite strong. He is very fast. He's actually good technically. He can score a variety of goals. He'll definitely help us in transition. He'll definitely be a little bit more of a powerful figure in the front line than we've got. I think Havertz is tall and can use his body and can give an aerial presence. I think Jesus is strong but low centre of gravity. I think Darwin Nunez is a little bit more of a powerhouse than those two. In fact, probably quite a lot more. Physically, there's, in terms of his pure attributes, there's quite a bit to like there. I just think he's such a horrendous finisher. And being a good finisher, he can score, and we've seen him score for Liverpool, a huge range of goals, whether it be from distance, popping them to the top corner, whether it be poachers finishes, whether it be running in behind. Like, this is a player who can score different kinds of goals. He's very talented. He can do most things with the football, but the problem is he's incredibly inconsistent. He is incredibly flustered in front of goal, it seems to me. There will be a comp of bad Nunez misses. And is that what you need to add when you've got Kai Havertz, who is with his finishing, and Jesus, who's very with his finishing? So I don't see how this really fixes anything for us. Do I want a fully fit and at their best Nunez, Jesus, or Jesus? Sorry, Nunez, Jesus, or Havertz? I don't know. At fully fit and at their best, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's not Nunez. Now, Liverpool fans might be in the comments of this tearing me apart, going, what? Fully fit at their best, Darwin Nunez is amazing for you guys. And you know what? Maybe. Because I've just said that there are attributes I really like, and there have been a range of goals and finishing. And look, his numbers were quite good last season. I should say that his numbers were quite good last season. But I'd be very underwhelmed if this was the deal we do. But of course, with any, I would go, okay, let's see what happens. For what it's worth, we spent 10 minutes talking about it, and I'm going to park it here, but I will go through your comments. For what it's worth, I don't think we're going to sign him. I don't think there's any more than just interest and looking into it. That's where I am with it. So I'm not going to lose my head over it. It's Merino Day. We announced Merino today. We've got lots of great stuff to talk about around him and other dealings and business transfer business that I'm super happy with. So we will go into that. But I just felt, as I know you're all wondering about it, we should talk about Darwin Nunez. And those are my thoughts. Not the player we need, nor do I think this is anything that is too intensely happening in the background. Okay, let's go through all your comments. Thank you for some super chats that have come in. That's very, very, very kind. Let's have a look. Ah, okay. Sorry, this is random. Ian Jung with a super chat. Thank you very much. And he's just said Hana Sushi. Hana Sushi, amazing, amazing Japanese food by Finsbury Park. I go there all the time when I'm filming with AFTV. It's incredible. I couldn't recommend it highly enough. That is such a random super chat, but I genuinely am there weekly. So sorry to just go to a completely different direction. That has cheered me up from the Darwin Nunez rumors. But yeah, world-class establishment. I love it there. Go check out Hana Sushi by Finsbury Park. Sorry, I had to say it. I saw the super chat. I went, yeah, gotta mention that amazing place. Honestly, all visit there. If you're going to the Emirates ever, if you're in Finsbury Park, North London, or if you're just out and about in London, you can get on the Victoria line or the Piccadilly line into Finsbury Park. Go check it out. It's genuinely fantastic food. Yeah, thank you for that super chat. Yeah, that's brilliant. Suj, big up James. Hit the likes and thank you, Suj. I really, really appreciate it. Always prompting it. I always forget, but yeah, we do the little thumbs up, which always pops up accidentally on stream. Yeah, there we go. I'm mastering it, people. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the stream, and thank you to all who are joining. So many of I've never had this many live viewers, so thank you. It's what a crazy transfer rumor can do. Where would you see a Dingra getting used? Love him. Yeah, Josh. Well, do you know the podcast's coming out tomorrow? I'll try to get out as early as possible. So with Ben Mattinson and George from the Cannon podcast, both of them brilliant. Both of them really know their players. Are really into their scouting, really do deep dives on these players, watch a lot of football, and they are big fans of Simon Adingra, as is Sharoy. I was a bit 50-50 with the room. I thought, yeah, good player. I'd sooner take him over Darwin Nunez because I think I'd be really interested to see how Arteta would develop him. He works really well with wingers. But is he like the one I would basically, if you said to me tomorrow, Simon Adingra, yes or no, do you take it and then no other business? I'd say no because I'd wait to see what happens rather than that being it, if you know what I mean. I'm still hopeful and skeptical that there might be something more to come. But let's see. Anyway, thank you so much. Anyway, what is everyone saying? Let's go back to the very, very top. Lots of comments coming in. Okay, right, what have we got? Anthony, why is this scheduled so late? That must have come in a while back. Yeah, that must have come in. What time did that come in? About 7 p.m. Sorry, I was just letting you all know I was coming. But I will do these later streams generally because it's just good to kind of wait and see like what's happened through the day. And this Nunez stuff is a kind of a real example of that. JK Goon, I'm sorry to disappoint you. He said, I just know James will be a fan of Nunez like me. No, I'm really sorry. I'm not massively. I don't think he's a bad player. But no, not for me. Big up everyone, Ryan. Totally agree with that. Evening, James. Bring on the live. Yep, DJ 064. Good to see you. It's another late live stream. Yeah, so you think I'm really keen? I know, I'm absolutely not. I'm really not keen on it whatsoever. Hi, James. People talk about Darwin Nunez. Exactly what I've done. The live stream. Cecil, everyone go subscribe to Cecil's channel. I know he's got big plans. And Cecil, it's great to see you too, man. Hope you are well. Let me know your thoughts, Cec, on Darwin Nunez. What would you do? You were a striker in your heyday, Crawley legend. Let me know what you do around this Nunez stuff. Let's go. Was there a comment from Turkish? James going live at 11 p.m. on the dot, making me look bad. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, I'm quite punctual, aren't I? But hey, I can't hold a live stream as long as Turkish. So there you go. Yeah, we all have our strengths. What else have we got? What else? Lots of bigging up for Turkish. Absolutely. I know you're all subscribed anyway, but go and subscribe. Turkish not even a mod on this. James is cold. I've got like no mods. I actually need to sort all that. Okay, let's get some thoughts on Nunez. Iqbal says, bring me Nunez. Lol. If he's the attacker we're going for, so be it. Rather him than no one. Yeah, I hate to say it. I low-key am in the Nunez over no one camp. But like, yeah, that's like really, yeah. I wouldn't love it, but I would be in the Eddie out, Nunez in. Okay, Yeah, fine. We have upgraded, I imagine. What's this? Someone saying Hagen said it as well, Eduardo Hagen. He does get transfer news, yeah. KD. James, I know we won't get Nunez, but if we do, I'm 100% certain Mikel has a god complex. What else have we got? That's the thing. How much would he cost? How much would he cost? I mean, look, Ashik, he's not going to cost 100 million, but how much would he cost? Like, probably 55, 60 million. I think that's what they'd want for him. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it at all. Right, let's go on to the other stuff because I've just all been rambling on now. This comment's coming, super chat's coming from Morpheus. Why do you think Saka is hated in the UK? They boo him away grounds every time he touches the ball. Happened versus Aston Villa as well. Because I don't know. I don't know because he's that good. Maybe I don't know. Because he's probably dunked on all their teams at some point or another. That's a fair question. One we could delve into in good detail in another day. But yeah, I'm sure it's not all reasons we. Yeah, not. I don't know. I'm not sure it's not all reasons that are just football related. It's just a shame that, like, do you remember the whole like limping thing? Like, what the hell was that about? That did the rounds, and mainstream media started taking that on. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go back to transfer stuff because we're halfway through the live. And there's actually some really some good news. And I know that we've known it's been coming for a few days, but I think it's stuff that we just want to, I think, delve into properly and actually just appreciate now that the moment's here. Mikel Merino has signed for Arsenal. And there's some really, really nice stuff. I know you might struggle to see it here, but I encourage you all to go to Mikel Merino's Twitter or no, Instagram, and then Arsenal's Twitter account. And these are pictures of Mikel Merino when he was a youngster. He said in his interview when he arrived at Arsenal that he always wore the kits of the teams that his dad played in. But one day his mum and dad brought him back this Arsenal kit. So what year is that? Is that 2005, 2006? It's not the 2004, 2005. No, it can't be. It must be 2004, 2005 season, right? Because 05, 06 must have been the maroon and gold. So yeah, there is classic Arsenal kit, and he's gone and recreated all the poses. I don't know how much Adidas would have loved that, but anyway, or the other way around. But yeah, he's gone and recreated the poses from when he was in the Arsenal shirt. And you know what I would say about this, and let's start talking about things really positively now, because we have sort of done some business. I'm really happy with this Merino signing. I think he's a really, really good addition to our midfield, and we'll touch on these quotes here in Sam Dean's tweet in a second. But to me, I know that we get frustrated that transfers take forever. I am part of that. I am one that says that Arsenal can dither and it can drag and it can take forever. But I do think that Arsenal deserves some credit in the sense that they clearly make signings and they clearly make players feel incredibly wanted at the club. They clearly put a lot of time in behind the scenes. Rumours that Merino and his wife went for dinner at Arteta's house last night. Calafiori was at the Arsenal Crystal Palace 5-0 win in January. It was that early that we invited him to the club to come and watch and try to get a feel for whether there was a deal to do there. The Merino deal has been going on for months and months, but again, supposedly we looked at him before the Euros, and then there's a connection there with Arsenal that we didn't even know about. And now all this stuff that Fabrizio Romano's been saying about how he told Atletico Madrid, he told Barcelona that it was Arsenal where he wanted to go, it all makes sense. And I think as much as it takes forever for us in terms of, how long a transfer can take, to be announced and all that, it takes even longer, it seems, for Arsenal and the player. But because there is so much work being done behind the scenes, there is so much that I don't think Arsenal, in the way they do transfer business now, would ever just go. And I know I've just said that they're going to be scrambling the final days of the market, but I've got no doubt they've spoken to these players already in some capacity. I don't think Arsenal, especially when they're pursuing targets they really want, are the type to just kind of go, like, oh, Pedro Neto, should we just drop the 55 million and get it done? Like, I don't think they would do that. I think they are the type that they really put a lot of effort behind the scenes. And And what does that do? I mean, it helps you get to know the player. It's crucial for club culture. It is probably really great for getting an understanding as to whether this player is going to be a success or a flop or whatever. It gives you a lot of idea for their personality, who they're going to fit in with, how they're going to fit in. Helps you probably get a lot of tactical ideas across to them. Helps you also get to understand the level of that player by scouting them over a prolonged period of time. Nketiah Vieira came in January, would have then seen a whole second half of the season from him with Bologna, where they got Champions League football, then we saw him at the Euros, and it would have only confirmed that this is a player we definitely want to add. So I know that transfers can take forever, but I think this is one, well, I think in general, it is a good thing. It's frustrating for us, and it takes forever. And of course, if they're missing key games at the start of the season, we need them playing in, then you start to worry. But I think the general process is probably not a bad one Arsenal have. 2,000 live viewers, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all tuning in. A little bit more on the player. I mean, we've done breakdowns on this channel, so I invite you all to go back and just go through the archives. Not very far. We've done quite a bit of analysis comparing him to Fabian Ruiz. We've done some analysis looking at him in terms of how he fits into Arsenal sort of tactics going into this season. So we've talked about him quite a lot, Merino. But this from Sam Dean. Merino lives a calm life, board games, reading, long after dinner conversations, but on the pitch, he's a wrecking ball of midfielder. Also signed the Spanish king of flick-ons, duels, headers, and tackles. I mean, Kai Havertz to me was never a central midfielder, but if there's one thing he did well, it was flick-ons, duels, headers, and tackles. He did that well from central midfield. So is this Mikel Arteta picking up the more natural 8 version of what he wanted Havertz to do in the middle, but also getting him to help a little bit more in build-up, dropping deep alongside Rice? He's going to complement Rice really well, because I think on the ball he's got a little bit more than Declan, perhaps, but I think they'll complement each other brilliantly. 2 6'2" central midfielders, going to be really hard to play through. He's a dual-winning monster. He's also going to complement Jorginho, because if Jorginho has to come in as the 6 every now and again, you feel fine putting him next to Merino because of the physical attributes he's got and the incredible defensive numbers he puts up. So he's a great complement. And also Partey, if you're talking about, maybe he's losing his legs slightly and he is becoming more a Jorginho type 6 than, and he's probably more Jorginho than he ever was Rice, but you get what I mean. He's probably, the physical qualities are less what you're looking at Partey for in the 6, and it's obviously what he does on the ball with the forward passes through the lines. Then again, Merino complements this really well. He can get into the pockets, he can underlap, he can, be in that 5th lane of attack along, well, 4th really, because it's Martinelli or Trossard, Merino, Martin, whatever you got. You got your 5 basically from Martinelli out across the Saka. In that Xhaka position, Merino can fit in really nicely. He can underlap, he can cross, he can attack the back post. There's just so much I really like about the signing. Those interviews really good. He sounds ambitious. He sounds like he's coming here to really compete, with big aspirations. He's wearing the number 23. Actually said in a quick fire questions on Arsenal socials, he said, what was it he said? They asked him, I think, what his favorite series was, favorite movie was, or a series he recently watched, something like that. And basically his answer was The Last Dance. Of course, Michael Jordan wore the number 23. Is that any reason why he's picked the number 23? Maybe not. He might have said that was his favorite series. I might be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am mistaken. But it's a signing I like. I think it's a very sensible signing. It's not a spectacular Bruno Guimaraes, Frankie de Jong. I think it could be a really good complement to what we have, though. And I think if you're looking for a midfielder that was experienced, that had genuine quality, and could what's the word? Complement the 3 6s we already have, I don't think you're going to find anyone better. I actually don't, because Frankie de Jong wasn't going to complement Jorginho. You might never lose the ball, but the minute you do, you might get ran through. I don't know. I just think Merino's a really, really good signing from Arsenal. Other bits and bobs that did the rounds. Let's start with this. David Ornstein confirming that Eddie Nketiah has been granted permission to undergo medical ahead of completing proposed move to Palace. Palace working to finalise agreements with Arsenal. £30 million, 25-year-old striker. No terms on personal. No problems on personal terms. And you've got this. Romano said that Arsenal have been informed that Arsenal informed Jakub Kiwior's camp is not for sale, despite interest from Villarreal, Bologna, and loan with Arsenal to keep Kiwior at the club. So let's break these all down. Starting with this from Eddie Nketiah first, and we've got this as well. Fabio Vieira. Understand that Arsenal have included the following details into Vieira's. Okay, do you know what? I'm jumping around too much. Let me just give you quick 1 or 2 minutes on each one, and then we'll take your comments to round off the show. On this, firstly, I like this deal. I like this. I also included the following details into Fabio Vieira's loan move to Porto. The loan fee will be based on objectives and specific conditions to match during the season. There's a penalty clause in the clauses. There are penalty clauses if Fabio doesn't play 50% of the matches. Arsenal are very much giving Porto an incentive to play him and trying to say, look, and this is what I like about this deal. This doesn't feel like I just get him out of the club. This feels like a very calculated, okay, we've got a player here who Arteta seems to believe in. That's what his words always say. They spent 35 million only 2 years ago. I think this is a go out, play him, and you better play him. And we're going to make sure there's, clauses in the contract to ensure that you play him. That way, we are going to get a really good idea for how much he's developed with regular football, and we'll see what player we get back a year from now. For what it's worth, I actually don't think he's going to play an Arsenal shirt ever again. Maybe in pre-season, but I don't think competitively he will. I think this is the start towards pushing his value up and seeing if we can recoup any of the 35 million we spent on him. Looks difficult to do. However, this is probably quite a good plan to try and get us as close to that as possible. Now, Eddie Nketiah, I just got to put my hands up. 30 million, well done. I do. Just don't spend it on Darwin Nunez. But, some good money's come in now. Some good money. I was happy with the Tavares deal. Wasn't a lot, but we pretty much made our money back. I like what we've done on the Nketiah and Smith Rowe front. 30 and 34 million, I think it's about right. I think Smith Rowe going for the most is about right as well. And yeah, Lokonga, I mean, that's probably the only deal that's slightly underwhelming, but is what it is. Go spend it now. Big few days, go and spend it. And now on Kivior. So this suggests to me that maybe Tomiyasu's injury isn't as... well, let's put it this way. He's meant to just miss pre-season, and we're already 2 weeks into the season. So Tomiyasu's clearly got a slightly more significant injury problem than we first thought or knew about. And I think keeping Kivior probably makes sense because Timber's still recovering from the knee problems. Zinchenko's got injury issues himself. Calafiori had a really bad knee injury a few years back. So I think keeping Kivior at least till January to then see where we are with all these other players is probably really smart from Arsenal. And I like Kivior. I've got no problem. I'd never felt as a player we had to get rid of, nor do I feel like we really need to make money off him this summer. I feel that's probably clever from Arsenal. Keep him for the year, or keep him at least till January, and then we'll see where we are. Maybe he'll need regular football like Vieira, but he's shown more. He's shown more for us. Like he has been a regular at left back in a team that was like putting together an amazing run towards the end of the season. Well, the whole second half of the season in the title race. So yeah, I'm happy to see more from Kivior personally. All right, let's go through. Let's go through more. We've got super chats. We'll start with that. Cesar says Nunez is a nasty fusion of Martinelli and Kai. Sort of see what you mean. But if he gets the best of both, then he's a very good player. Francis is asking, why did you leave AFTV Matchday show? I haven't left, honestly. It's just one of those things. I was dog sitting. If you watch the match report after Villa, I was dog sitting on Saturday. And then again, I had something. I was with my parents for the what game? Wolves at home. So you will see me. You will see me on the AFTV Matchday show. It might not just be every week. Things going on in life or whatever. So it might not be every single game that I'm there. But you will see me on AFTV, and you've been seeing me regularly on AFTV. So don't worry about that. Right. What else have we got here? Please no Nunez. A lot of that flying in. Yeah, of course. Darwin has huge potential. A lot of people see it this way, that he has huge potential, and could Arteta harness that? But we're looking for another year of developing a player, and then in a year's time we get the best version of him. We want to beat City now. I don't think a response to them signing Savinho and Gundogan is Darwin Nunez or anyone that we're sort of pretty underwhelmed by. What else have we got? Elliot thinks no one over Nunez. Fine, fair enough. Khan says back in saying Darwin is pure chaos. If we can get that finishing up to 10%, he would cook. Up by 10%, he would cook. I don't know. I don't know personally. Did I read that? Here we go. Suj comes in helping me with what I was saying earlier about Merino. That I was right. Merino did say his favourite show was The Last Dance. Side note, I haven't seen anything with Jesus' injury. Did I miss something? Don't know, but I think he's sort of back doing, what's it called? just sort of gym training, isn't he? I think so. I think he's probably all right. Jesus should be back for the big games against Tottenham and Man City. I think we're pretty much there, people. I think we're pretty much there. Um, Says someone with a dog as their picture. I was watching the game. I watched the game with an adorable dog on my lap. His name's Houdini. He was really, really cute. All right, everyone. I think we're going to leave it there. Some people are asking how serious is Nunez stuff. I talked about it all at the very beginning of the stream. So I recommend you all go back. But thank you so much. Well, those who missed it can go back and watch that. How would I rate the window so far? Let me answer that. 11 p.m. on Friday, I'll give you that answer. At the moment, if we did no other business, it's a 5. I think we've improved, but not enough. The forward is massive. If we get a forward I'm vaguely happy with, I think it jumps up to an 8 or a 9. Okay, everyone, I'll go round it off there. A super, super thanks for jumping in, Cecil and the lot. Thank you so, so much for all tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed it. Cecil, look, he's such a big fan of the stream, man. Thank you. Big thanks to Max. Eric, you've come in so late with this, but I will just squeeze in. Who comes in when Erdegaard is injured? And I'm very grateful. Sorry, I sound very ungrateful. I am grateful, but I'm just sort of explaining why I'm rushing it. Who comes in when Erdegaard is injured? Will we see Merino, Partey, Rice, similar to Liverpool midfield style? Yeah, we could do. You got Waneri, Trossard could play in midfield, Havertz. So I think there's plenty of options there. Everyone, big thanks. That's all the latest news. Couple of things confirmed. Vieira has gone to Porto on loan. Nketiah has been given permission to go do everything he's got to do with Palace ahead of a £30 million fee that we'll be receiving. And Mikel Merino is an Arsenal player wearing number 23. Lots of content out on the Arsenal website about all that. Darwin Nunez has been linked. It is just a link. Let's not all lose our heads, but let's also keep an eye on it at the same time. Everyone, thank you again. Really enjoyed it. And I will see you tomorrow. There'll be the Goonerverse podcast with George and Ben Masson. So look out for that.